This podcast is brought to you by iPlayHockey.ca. iPlay is the leading hockey insurance provider to coaches, camp instructors, spring and summer hockey leagues, and tournaments across Canada. If you need insurance for hockey, iPlay has you covered. iPlay also provides hockey players and coaches with a wide range of free tools, drills, and skills in their drill vault to enhance on-ice performance, and they provide crucial off-ice knowledge as well. So if you need insurance for a hockey team, league, or camp, or if you just want to teach your kids some new drills, head on over to iPlayHockey.ca and check out their new website.
Happy New Year, everyone. How we doing? Welcome back to the Boys in the Booth podcast, episode 262. So great to be back with you, Cody, Abrams, and Melbourne. And guys, it's been a while. How we doing?
Well, I wake up every day, I put on a brave face and pretend like I'm happy, but little does everyone know the Devils are ripping me down every single day.
Are they going to trade Dougie Hamilton, or like what's going on there?
We're going to talk about that in a second.
Okay, all right. I won't spoil it then. But yeah, thanks for checking in, Harp. Doing well. Nice to be talking to you guys again. It is the new year. We are 11 days into it here. We took an extended break, but you know what? It was well-deserved, much needed. Good to be back, though, talking to you boys about some puck.
Absolutely. Okay, let's get right into it here. Core 4 stories.
Core 4.
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 The first edition of Core 4 Stories for 2026 for the new year. And of course, this is for episode 262. So let's get right into it. We mentioned Dougie Hamilton there a second ago. We'll get to him in a second. But I want to start with a team that is in the Western Conference that got off to a really good start, a team that myself in particular was really high on going into the season, and that's the Anaheim Ducks. They've now dropped 9 games in a row. Of course, their most recent loss to the Buffalo Sabres on Saturday. Didn't really notice Leo Carlsson all that much. This is a team that's going through it right now. They've got some injuries as well. What do we make of the Ducks right now?
Yeah, we kind of expected that they were going to come down a little bit from where they were. You know, we didn't think they'd be one of the best teams in the league, especially in the West. But I don't think we expected them to fall off a cliff. And that's exactly what they've done. Their minus 22 goal differential in the last 10 games has really proved that. And it's looked pretty tough over there. So, I don't know, hoping they can turn things around, because I feel like we've been waiting on Anaheim forever, and it was kind of nice to have them back in the league, but it hasn't looked that way in the last 10 games.
Yeah, coming into this season, guys, they were the sexy pick in the West. Everyone was saying that, they're a playoff team this year. They'd be shocked if they don't make the playoffs. But yeah, I don't know. I think this is just a team that is still very inexperienced. They have some really good pieces who need to develop physically and need to mature, emotionally as well. And look, they've got their coach. They've got basically all of their pieces. They just need to fill out the lineup and keep going. I don't know where they're going to finish this year. I mean, they're 500 right now. Wouldn't shock me if they're a wild card team, but wouldn't shock me if they miss by a few points either. So yeah, I mean, they've had a tough stretch here. They started out really, really hot, but we all knew that wasn't going to last forever. So tough to see the slide.
Look at their goaltending, and I think that's the first place you got to look. And all of their their 3 kind of main guys that they've rotated here in their last 10 games, like Lucas Dostal, 841 save percentage, Mrazek 858, Ville Husso 884. It's just
and look how good, look how well John Gibson's playing too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, in Detroit, and not to mention the shooting percentage from Anaheim, just kind of resulting in that PDO stat being just atrocious for them.
Yeah.
And, looking at the goaltending case, which I'm glad you brought up, like, did they maybe get away with too much last year where Dostal, was bailing them out on a lot of nights? Because certainly not the case right now. Injuries are a part of it. They've got some key guys out of the lineup, but boy, oh boy, the goaltending was a big thing for them last year, and they're not being bailed out in the same way they were last season when they had that 21-point improvement from Dostal. Like they and they're not seeing that now.
Yeah, I mean, here's the numbers from last year. Gibson and Dostal, 15.3 and 14.3 goals saved above expected. And this year, it's just not the same. They've got, 4 guys who have played games. None of them are John Gibson. Obviously, he's in Detroit putting up some decent numbers, and they're all minus in terms of that goal saved above expected stats. So it's just, it's not the same. It goes to show how important goaltending is in this league and how much it fluctuates from year to year. So I don't think they're a bad team. Like I don't think they're as bad as they've been the last 10 games, but they are still young and inexperienced, and it takes time. So they'll be better down the stretch and next year.
Absolutely. And again, Anaheim, 9 losses in a row. We'll see if things can turn around there. Okay, to Dougie Hamilton, the aforementioned Devils defenseman that was brought up at the start. He was a healthy scratch for the game against Winnipeg on Sunday night. That was a loss for the Devils. Sorry case. And so Dougie Hamilton out for that one. His agent, JP Barry, saying that, that was for non-performance reasons, that this was strictly for business. They had Kovacevic and some other bodies coming back healthy. They had to make a move. Hamilton does have that 10-team no-trade list. Elliot Friedman on Saturday Night Headlines on Hockey Night in Canada did explain that San Jose tried to acquire Dougie Hamilton in the summer. He rejected that trade. So how do we see this playing out with Dougie Hamilton and the New Jersey Devils, a team that is obviously looking to create some cap flexibility here?
I would say that it's 100% that Dougie Hamilton will get traded. I think that writing's been on the wall ever since the beginning of this season, when Shimon Nemec came out flying and was the Devils' best defenseman for, the first quarter of the season, if not this whole half of a season before he got injured. And you have 4 good defensemen on the right side. One of them being Shimon, who is young, talented, their second overall pick. Kovacevic, just coming back, who was the Devils' best defensive defenseman last year, and Brett Pesce, who is a great, very solid veteran defensive defenseman. And both he and Kovacevic have no trade clauses for the next couple of years. So it wasn't going to be one of them. They're not in a position now that they want to trade Shimon Nemec with the way he's been playing. He's been bringing more offense than Dougie Hamilton. So on the right side, the most expendable guy is the guy who's making $9 million and putting up 10 points through 40 games. As a offensive defenseman who is pretty weak in his own end at times. So it's only a 10-team trade list, but they've kind of mentioned his agent there saying they're going to be willing to be flexible on the 10 teams. So
right,
it's got to be him, and they have to make up cap space. So that $9 million, I could think of $6 other million I'd like to see off this team, but it's also been hard to trade that contract. But that's a conversation for another day.
Yeah, tell me how you really feel, Case.
Andre Palat, the guy who was -5 in 9 minutes on the ice against the Islanders.
Oh,
send him back to Tampa. They'll take him, win a cup with him. He'll be just fine. 14
goals in the playoffs this year for Tampa.
Yeah, exactly. No, I shared on the screen the lines there, like Hughes, Pesce, Siegenthaler, Kovacevic, now that he's back, Dillon and Nemec. God, it's tough to think that Dougie Hamilton is the odd man out there. But like you've mentioned, it just goes to 2 things. Number 1, he's not creating as much offense as he has in the past. And number 2, he makes $9 million against the cap, which, is just easily replaceable. I think you'd rather spend that money in a lot of other places. And, they've committed to Luke Hughes, even though I know he's had a bit of a tough season. He's still, trying to produce offense, but he's been buried in his own zone a bit, and fans have been booing him and stuff. But, good on Keefe and good on management here for kind of betting on Hughes and doubling down. I know him and Dougie play different sides of the ice, but look, you're going to place your bets on one $9 million man, and it might as well be the young kid instead of the old guy who is not producing anymore. So we'll see what happens. I don't know what the return is going to be for Dougie Hamilton or when they're going to be able to get that done, but it just seems like this guy has an expiration date wherever he goes. So that's, I don't know. Is there something more there?
This podcast is sponsored by SeatGeek, the absolute best ticket app out there. SeatGeek takes the confusion out of buying tickets, making it quick and easy to get the best deals to tickets at your favorite sporting event. SeatGeek does this awesome thing where they score each ticket out of 10 based on its value, so you know whether you're getting a good or a bad deal. Last time I got tickets to see the Devils play, I first saw red tickets. I waited it out, monitored the price in-app, and once I saw green, I pulled the trigger. SeatGeek makes it that easy. And here's the best part. SeatGeek has completely hooked us up. Boys in the Booth listeners get $20 off their first purchase on SeatGeek with the promo code BOYSINTHEBOOTH in all caps. Click the link in our description to download the app, and remember to get your discounted tickets using the code BOYSINTHEBOOTH in all caps. Get great seats for a fraction of the cost with SeatGeek.
I
don't think that's fair because in the period in which he bounced around the most, like 3 teams in 4 or 5 years, whatever it was, he was the leading goal scorer amongst defensemen during that period.
Yeah, that's true.
He's always had a productive past. It's been the last 2 seasons after some injuries in New Jersey that he's really started to fall out of favor. But the first 2-3 seasons, he was loved in New Jersey, both like on and off the ice. He's a big personality when it comes to the team, and it's like he runs the socials for the team. It's fun, and I feel bad because I like Dougie Hamilton, but yeah, if you're an offensive defenseman not producing offense, and you can't really play the defense that Siegenthaler, Kovacevic, Dylan, Pesci play, then you're the odd man out, especially when the 2 other guys who are leading the offense from the back end are 21 years old and 23 years old respectively. So
yeah, I was just saying about the expiration date thing, like this is the longest he's played for a team, and he's bounced around. I'm not saying that that's warranted, but maybe another change of scenery for him could, shake things up and he could get back to his old self and have a bigger role. But it is tough, Case. Like you mentioned, the relationship was good with Dougie, and now it seems like it's turned a bit sour recently because of this whole, this whole trade situation. So be interesting to see what happens.
There's also the fact that, first of all, Luke is 22. My math was wrong there. But Dougie, there's rumors that he's the reason. Well, people are pointing fingers saying he's the reason why Quinn Hughes didn't come to New Jersey. And it was Cap, and it was him and Palat not being able to trade those contracts and denying trades from the likes of the San Jose Sharks and things like that. So I think he's getting it a bit in the media. And I think that maybe management's feeling that way a little bit too, although they'll never show that and they'll never say that. And it's good to have everyone else healthy now, because I think you can put the fear in some of the defenders on New Jersey right now, because there's 7 guys fighting for 6 spots. Someone's got to sit.
Yeah. No, for sure. And Chad, like it's interesting the term that you use there, an expiration date. I was going to use that as well for Dougie Hamilton, because before getting to New Jersey, he had obviously played for 3 different teams, and looks like sooner rather than later he's going to be on his 5th team in his career. He is 32 years old, does make $9 million for the next 2 seasons after this one. So I get it. And, the Devils will be able to get a couple of pieces. I think they could use another piece up front, and maybe get a pick or something as well. In a Dougie Hamilton trade, he certainly does have value, and does have a large cap hit compared to a lot of the other defensemen, and obviously you're not moving on from Quinn Hughes. So this really could work out for the Devils. It is the logical route to go, and we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, Luke Hughes, but know what you're saying.
Oh, sorry, did I say Jack?
You said Quinn.
I said Quinn. Oh my gosh.
You can't move on from Quinn Hughes. Well, you can. And
they better until at least 2027.
Yes, that's right. Luke Hughes instead of Quinn. That's right. Okay. Okay, guys. Number 3 for Core 4 stories here. We'll move on to another defenseman. And it's a defenseman who is a lot younger than Dougie Hamilton. He did extend with his team, and that is Philip Broberg. It is an $8 million cap hit for the next 6 years to stay with the St. Louis Blues. Obviously, this season has not gone the way that the Blues had anticipated after taking the Winnipeg Jets, who have had a tough time in their own right, to 7 games in round 1 of the Stanley Cup playoffs last year. But Broberg is obviously a big piece of their blue line moving forward, just 24 years old. Obviously, they offer sheeted him to pry him away from the Edmonton Oilers, and he's been a pretty good fit there in St. Louis. And Chad, as we've talked about before, that is a blue line in St. Louis that needs more young blood, and Broberg's a big part of that.
Yeah, I'd say this contract makes a lot of sense considering where the team is right now. I think if you're on a playoff contender, a cup contender, you get a little scary throwing those dollars around for a young defenseman. But considering they're probably not going to be contenders for the next 3 years, paying $6 million, that's going to be super fair down the road. But over the next couple of years, you're not going to need that cap necessarily. So I kind of like this. He's big, young body, has shown some real signs of offensive talent, and has kind of really worked on the two-way games since he's come over from Edmonton. And I think they're kind of laughing about these 2 waiver pickups that have, you know what I mean?
Offer sheets
that worked out pretty well for them. So I like the contract. I like the player, and I think it's a good long-term fit.
Yeah, not much more to add on that one. I actually missed this if it happened over the past couple of days. Did not know that this was done. So thanks for breaking that news to me, Harp. I've been a little bit more offline recently than maybe I need to be. Okay.
You were in Niagara.
That checks out. Out. They don't let you know. They don't let you know what time it is in there or anything.
No, they don't.
Yeah, but yeah, so missed that one, but don't mind the deal at all. Like you said, Harp, this is a team that desperately needs the injection of youth that Broberg brings. Case, I agree with you. They're laughing all the way to the bank with these 2 offer sheets here. And yeah, I don't think St. Louis wants to be bad for the next 3 years. I think they're going to want to contend as soon as possible, but they're also realists over there. They kind of know what they got, and I could see them being a team to do a soft sell this year if they get the right pieces and kind of retool this thing on the fly. So adding Broberg long term, I think makes a lot of sense, and they just got to keep building towards getting younger and getting more talented. Because yeah, you look at this team, there's a lot of olds on it, So I like it.
Well,
good deal.
Totally. They better hope that I'm wrong and they're contenders over the next 3 years, because they have a lot of core players locked up and with no trade clauses, so they can also find themselves in a New Jersey Devils situation down the road.
Yeah, that's true.
No, definitely. Okay, fellas, last one to wrap up Core 4 stories here for episode 262. This is a cool one. In NHL history, teenagers with 26 points over a 13-game span. Ready for the list? Wayne Gretzky, Sidney Crosby, and now Macklin Celebrini. The guy is willing the San Jose Sharks into playoff conversation, and they have not won a game at all this season. They're 0-7-2 in the 9 games, just the 9 games this season when he hasn't registered a point. He's got 70 now on the season. And again, to be in that company with that point total over a 13-game span, he's on a 13-game point streak, just absolutely incredible. So we'll finish it off there. Case.
if the season ended today and they finished third in their division, I would be putting my vote for him for the Hart Trophy for sure.
Yeah.
And you can make the argument for, McKinnon and others, but the fact that this team is was counted out as a playoff team, a playoff hopeful maybe, and they're starting to turn around the rebuild, and they've been this good, and he has just dragged them there. So I'm so impressed, and honestly, I feel like, I don't know, maybe it was just me being under a rock or something, but I didn't feel like there was as much hype as him coming into his draft year. Like, yes, we knew he was going to be the first overall pick, but it wasn't the same as Shane Wright, Lafreniere, Bedard.
Yeah.
All of these guys. The hype was just crazy. And Celebrini, this has just been like an amazing story. This is what you expect from a first overall pick, but I mean, he's above and beyond for sure.
BetterHelp is the paid partner of this video. The new year is a blank space for you to write a new story. BetterHelp makes it more convenient to get you started. BetterHelp is fully online, making therapy more comfortable and convenient. They carefully make sure therapists on the platform are well qualified, and their customer support team is there to help you if you have any questions. With over 7,000 reviews and a 4.5 rating on Trustpilot, BetterHelp is a platform you can trust. Your next chapter starts today. Get 10% off your first month of BetterHelp online therapy at betterhelp.com/boysinthebooth in paid partnership with BetterHelp.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. And him being at the Olympics, which, by the way, guys, like, we haven't even talked about that. I guess we will leading up to it, but the Olympics that are coming up in Milan, like, that's going to be incredible with him there. Like, he's just so dynamic. Like, he's electric. I can't believe that stat, Harp. What was it? 0-7-1 without
0-7-2
when he doesn't get a point.
When he doesn't get a point, and he's only gone 9 games without a point this season.
Yeah, and I've seen the stat too, where he's factored in on over 50% of the Sharks' goals, which has only happened something like 4 times in NHL history, where a guy's finished at the end of the season factoring in on more than 50% of his team's goals. So, yeah, he's in elite company right now. And I agree with you, Case. Like, this is shocking. And same, by the way, for Matthew Schaefer. Like, I don't think either of those guys had enough hype leading up to the draft. And it makes you remember, like, how overhyped a guy like, Shane Wright or Juraj Slafkovsky, I guess, that year, who went first, was coming into their draft. Because, wow, we did not talk about either of these guys enough heading into their draft year. And, like, this guy's 70 points in the NHL right now as a teenager. How many points would he have realistically gotten at the World Juniors? Which, by the way, he was still eligible for this season.
Yeah.
He could have played on Team Canada at the World Juniors. How many points? 50? Like, it's insane. It's insane.
Is.
And by the way, speaking of the Sharks too, just looking at it, that Pacific Division is just rancid. Like, just horrible. Like, the numbers in that division are insane. Everybody's a minus in terms of goal differential pretty well. Like, Edmonton's even now and Vegas is +3. But and San Jose, they've got 49 points and they're in third place. Like, the Buffalo Sabres, who are in a wild card spot in the Atlantic right now, would be leading the Pacific Division. They'd be in first. They'd be tied for first. Like, it's insane to me. Like, that division is buns.
Gonna bring that up later.
It's buns. It's no good.
Just to circle back on something you said, Chad, Matthew Schaefer, and the lack of hype for him. Before the World Juniors, you and I were arguing about Porter Martone or James Higgins as the first overall pick. And then there was talk about Michael Misa as the first overall pick. And then there's talk about Anton Frundell being the first overall pick. And then kind of, months leading up, it became Schaefer. And look at him. Like, that's another story, just like Celebrini.
Yeah, 100%. Dude, he's so good. That game that the Islanders played the Leafs last week, or might have been 2 weeks ago now, the overtime goal, he gets 2 goals in a game. Like, he's so good.
Unbelievable. His skating ability is just, wow. But Celebrini, like, it's just, everything with this kid. Just off the charts. And by the way, too, like, so funny how the NHL standings work and the point system and everything. San Jose has the most wins out of every team in the Pacific Division at 23. Like, the only reason why Vegas is in first place
The loser
in that
point.
division is because of all the overtime loser points. They have 12.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's so, but
They have more losses, including overtime losses, than wins, but they're first in the division. That makes no sense.
yeah,
Like, the loser point makes no sense.
yeah. But anyway, I don't think any of us expected the Sharks to be anywhere close to the position they're in now, and 71 is driving them every single night. So good on him. Good on the Sharks. Mike Greer, tell you, man, we've talked about him before. He's pushed a lot of the right buttons there. That's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, fellas, that does it for Core 4 Stories, episode 262. Now we get into the Atlantic Division and the logjam that is the Atlantic Division. We've referred to it as the best division in hockey, potentially. Well, it's looking like that right about now. A lot of hot teams in that division over their last 10 games. Thank you, Chad. We've got the graphic right there. You look at the Tampa Bay Lightning, obviously at the top of the board there, 9 straight wins, 9-1 in their last 10. The Maple Leafs, they looked dead not too long ago. They've really turned it around. Chad, there you go.
Yep.
7-1-2 in their last 10, sitting in 5th. The Red Wings been going at a pretty good pace over the course of the first half plus of the season so far. 7-2-1. How about those Sabres at 9-1-0 in their last 10? 13-1 in their last 14, and of course the Montreal Canadiens 6-2-2, sitting at third in their last 10. Then just below, obviously, you've got Boston 10-2 victory over the New York Rangers on the weekend. My
You guys watch
God.
that?
No,
That was nuts. I watched the tail end of that game, where like the whole third, I guess.
yeah,
It was a joke. Like, they just had the puck the entire time. Fraser Minton had 2 goals. Kuznetsov had 4. Pavel
Yeah.
Zacha had 3. Like, Pasternak had like 6 assists or something. Like,
yeah.
it was. I don't know, how does that happen? It's the NHL.
How does a 9-0 game happen?
Yeah.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, at least they got a couple on old Swayman.
Yeah. Gosh. So you've got the Bruins there. You've got the Panthers. They're going through a bit of a tough stretch right now, but I mean, it's Florida. They just need to get healthy. And again, it's the Panthers. And then the Ottawa Senators, who are certainly struggling right now, but they're not far out of it. So, guys, like, just this is that part of the episode that we're in now, looking at this Atlantic Division, how tight it is, how many teams are hot right now. Where do we want to start? Do we want to start right at the top with Tampa, or where do we want to start
first,
here?
I just want to point out that you just said that Florida is in a tough run right now, and you're right. But we're saying a tough run in the Atlantic Division is 11-6-1 in their last 18 games.
Yeah.
Like, that's what this division's come to. And Florida started 12-12-2, and now they're 11-6-1 in the last 18 on a roll. So that just speaks to this division, and
absolutely,
it's amazing. But yeah, to get to the top of this list, the top of the division, I just wanted to point out that when we talked about our division rankings and said, maybe it's not 2 wild cards coming from the Atlantic because they have to play each other so much. Well, that exact thing is why Detroit is in first place right now, because they are 8-3-2 against Atlantic Division teams, and in particular, they own the Toronto Maple Leafs 3-0. They've had wins against, I think, everyone else except Buffalo, who owns Detroit, so it's a little game of rock, paper, scissors going on in the Atlantic Division. But they've been so good, 13-4-1 in the last 18 games. It's depth scoring over those 10 games. No one's really taken off. Mason Raymond maybe is the only, or not Mason Raymond. That what year am I living
back.
in?
He's back.
That's a
Lucas
throwback.
Raymond is absolutely is playing great, but he's still, only a couple points over a point per game. So it's real depth scoring from Detroit. We talked about John Gibson and how well he's been playing. He's been really a driver there, and that trades, the Yzer plan. It's back.
That's right.
We're back talking about it.
Yeah.
Everyone was dumping on him, but no, Detroit's been really good, and it's really shown in the games against the Atlantic Division teams.
Yeah, and like speaking about Gibson, I mean, he's got just a 902 at face value right now and a 275, but he's positive in goal saved above expected. Like, he's been great. By the way, looks great, looks sharp in those throwback jerseys. Like, I love every time they wear those, especially against the Leafs, even though they beat up on them every time. Like, best jersey matchup in the NHL. It's insane. But yeah, Detroit, like, I think we picked them to finish last in this division, and they're sitting in first right now. But the problem is, like, it's still so tight. I mean, I don't think Detroit is going to fall out now. I mean, famous last words, they could, but it's just still so tight from top to bottom. Like, we've got, what is that, 13 points that separates first and last, and from last to a wild card spot, we're talking like 5, 6, 7 points. Like, it's tight throughout here. So yeah, I think this division is going to go down to the absolute wire, and I don't know if Detroit's going to win it. Personally, I would put my money on Tampa. I think they've looked so good this year. And
yeah,
Vasi's back. Like, they've got their swagger back. They made some bets here. Like the whole trading Sergachev thing has paid off when we didn't really know if it was going to, right? Like, that was a huge gamble that paid off. So yeah, like, Tampa looks sick too.
I wanted to mention that trade for the Lightning specifically because you look at that deal. Obviously, Utah needed a number one defenseman in Sergachev, but JJ Moser, terrific top four defenseman. They just locked him up for 8 more years. He's been fantastic. And also, Connor Geekie, guys, is a point per game in the American Hockey League. They've got him coming. He's not even on the roster right now. So I am really glad that you brought up that trade, Chad, because that was a big talking point for me when it comes to Tampa Bay.
Yeah, well, and another one for me is Darren Radish. How about how good he's been this year?
Yeah, it would be a crime to talk about the back end in Tampa and not bring up the point per game, 12 goals, Darren Radish. That guy.
Where did this guy come from?
Just amazing. I don't undrafted
37
out
points.
of nowhere. Just so good.
12 goals this year, like plus 17. Like, this guy just came out of nowhere. 29 years old too. Like, it just, I don't know. I feel like this was a guy who, we used to look at Tampa's blue line a couple years ago and be like, oh, geez, it's a lot of Radish. It's a lot of Perbix. It's, it's a lot of guys like that. But now all of a sudden, like, Radish is a superstar. Like, where did that come from? Doesn't make any sense.
They just, again, like, it's like we've talked about for so long between the big club in Tampa, the American League club in Syracuse. Like, they just know how to develop players. And so this does not surprise me at all with Darren Radish and the way that he's played. The guy's got a bomb of a shot, by the way, too, from the point. But Tampa looks like they're back. But again, we'll see when the playoffs roll around. They've got to go through Florida. Everyone in the East has got to go through Florida. We'll see, but Tampa's
a plus good. 39 right now. Like,
well, look at their last 10 games.
They have to.
We interrupt this podcast to tell you about one of our favorite partners, Sign Up Expert. If you're a sports bettor, whether brand new, casual, or hardcore, listen very carefully because this ad is for you. Guys, line shopping for the best odds matters, and that's why any profitable sports bettor needs to be using multiple sports books to maximize their profits. Thankfully, there has never been a better time to get signed up, and we are here to connect you with the best promotions industry-wide. When you use our link at signupexpert.com/boysinthebooth, you can get access to all of the top sports books in your region, along with a review of each platform and its unique benefits. Most importantly, all of these sportsbooks have valuable sign-up offers for new users, and when you register through our link, you will automatically receive the top offer at each one, allowing you to start line shopping with an enhanced bankroll. Guys, it's simple. When you use multiple sportsbooks, you ensure that you can always access the best available odds, which is key to successful and profitable sports betting. So, if you want to take advantage of these incredible benefits and support our brand at the same time, please consider signing up for your next sportsbook through our link in the description below, signupexpert.com/boysinthebooth. If you're planning on signing up for a new sportsbook anyways, you might as well use our link and support the boys. So, one more time, that's signupexpert.com/boysinthebooth.
Look at their last 10 games, plus 20 goal differential.
Yeah, there you go.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Kucherov,
That's
23 points in the last 10 games.
Oh, I know. I played Corey in fantasy last week, and Kucherov absolutely torched me. Like, just made me regret my life.
But you just,
Yeah.
you can never count out anyone in this division because Tampa Bay started this season 1-4-2.
Yeah.
And they've had a 9-game winning streak that they just came off, a 7-game winning streak, and a 5. It's just, they're stringing together just amazing performances, and it has been something to watch. We did have them, top 2 in this division, but they look good.
You want to know a secret? About a month and a half ago, when the Leafs were dead last in the Eastern Conference and like 2 points from dead last in the league, I put $10 on them to win the Atlantic Division. So I don't know if that's going to happen. They're still pretty far out, not even in a playoff spot right now, but boy, they're playing well. The problem is, so is everyone else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I keep thinking, like, I'm watching the games and I'm like, boy, the Leafs are back. Like, Austin looks good. Willie's back and he gets 3 points in his first game back. Like, Tanev and Carlo are back. Well, Tanev not anymore, but Carlo's back. And, Stolarz is getting healthy and, things are looking up. They keep winning. Max Domi's playing well. Michelli's finally playing well. And, everything's going great. Nick Robertson's a real contributor. But then it's like, oh, Tampa's won 9 straight. Buffalo can't lose. They're the best team in the league. Like, everybody's winning. Like, Montreal's winning every night. Like, even, Ottawa for a while there was winning a bunch before the tweet and the scandal and everything. They were playing well. But just, yeah, I mean, it's crazy. Everyone's good. Everyone's good.
At least they're better than Boston. 10-2 game.
Exactly.
God. Oh, unbelievable. And like, to mention the Sabres for a minute, it's like that 10-game win streak just got them back into the mix, like for a wild card spot. Like, that's the crazy thing. And yeah, you look at a team like the Ottawa Senators who are going through it right now. They've lost 4 games in a row, but if they have one good week, they're back in this thing. Like, that's the crazy thing. And across the whole league, it's not just this division, but the amount of parity this year in the NHL is fantastic, quite frankly.
It's Gary's dream come true. Like, he wanted parity. Well, you got it. Like, no one's good or everyone's good. I don't know what to make of this. Like, is everyone just mid or is everyone good? Is everyone bad? I don't know, but they're all, every team is just right in the middle there. But yeah, you're right. One good week or one bad week really could swing your season. Like, it's kind of crazy, especially because with the Olympics coming up, schedules are condensed. Like, I don't know about you guys, but like, check your calendars. Like, there's a lot of hockey coming up. It's every other night.
This month.
Friday.
Yeah,
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
No games on Fridays. Why would we do that?
That makes sense. But yeah, it's like you look at the Leaf schedule. It's like Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, Tuesday, and it's like every other day basically playing until the
16
Olympics.
games for the Sabres in the month of January.
Yeah, there you go.
That's
10-game
unbelievable.
losing streak's gonna really suck in January.
Oh my
Yeah.
God! No, only
Is that gonna happen?
Case. No, only positive thinking here, guys. Okay.
Have the Sabres ever had a 10-game winning streak in a season where they did not also have a corresponding 10-game losing streak? That is a question that needs to be answered.
Well,
Never
look,
happened.
so are we're talking about Buffalo now?
Sure.
Is that
Yep.
is what's happening? Okay.
Yeah, Harp, you have 30 seconds. Go.
Yes, Harp.
Well,
loved
look-
your video, by the way. The old hat on. The Sabres
Oh
team.
yeah.
Yeah,
was
you had to go to
good.
the closet and blow the dust off that hat so you can wear it again.
Yeah. I got this for Christmas. I've barely worn it though. But anyway,
Looks good. You needed a new one. That old,
I did,
that old
I
one was
did.
beat up.
that blue one's pretty beat up for sure. Well, and look, here's the thing: like that 10-game win streak in 2018-19 was a bit of a mirage. Like they won a lot of those games in extra time. You look at that roster, the goaltending. Like I think like Carter Hutton was the goalie playing a lot of the games at the time. Like it wasn't. It was a bit of a mirage, and then things just fell right off the rails. But I think this year it seems different because you look at 2 of their last 3 games. Okay, they get out to they've had really good starts. That's been the key to this 13-1 run that they've been on in their last 14. Getting off to good starts, getting the first goal or 2 in the hockey game. Their third periods, in particularly in the game earlier in the week against Vancouver and Saturday night against Anaheim, they kind of fall apart a little bit. They allow the other team to get back in it, but here's the difference. If this was a year ago, fellas, or back in October, November, they would have found a way to lose that game. 100%, I'm telling you. But they don't. And that's the difference. When things get, a little hairy and it's like, okay, they're coming in, like for so long, I was so used to that team panicking. Now they don't. Okay, let's get right back out there. Let's have a good shift. Let's put an end to this. And they just finding a way to win games by any means necessary gives me real hope. But boy, oh boy, like they've got they've got a real shot here to end this long playoff drought. But in this division, like you just don't know because as we see, like everybody is playing well, mostly everybody that is. So anyway, that's all I wanted to say on the Sabres right now.
Yeah, and with Buffalo, it's been a little bit of this and a little bit of that to get them to all these wins. And
yeah,
I wanted to point out something that I thought was interesting, and that's on ESPN. If you look at the schedule, every game they list a top performer for every game. And in the last 10 games, which they are 9-1, their top performer has been 10 different players. So it's been Quinn, Zucker, Tuck, Power, Thompson, Benson, Samuelson, Byram, Luukkonen, Lyon. Like that's
there you go.
You look at the Maple Leafs, it's Matthews, Nylander, Matthews. Like it's not like that at all. It's actually a lot of Joseph Woll. I got to give him his flowers. But you look at Buffalo, it's everyone is contributing because everyone has to contribute if you're going to go 13-1 in your last 14 games. And you can see that in 13 players being half a point per game or more in the last 10 games.
Surprised there was no mention of Josh Doan there. I know he's been good. That's Harp's favorite player as well.
He was the top performer December 3rd against Philadelphia in a 5-2 loss.
There you go.
Yeah, he's been terrific. And
same amount of points as Peterka.
That's right. That's right. I sent that to you earlier. Yeah, that's right. And the blue line for Buffalo is big as well. When that blue line's going, makes a big difference. Bowen Byram up to 10 goals now on the season. Darlene, obviously, we know what he can do. And then Matthias Samuelsson, Case, you mentioned him a moment ago. Like, talk about a guy that in the offseason, Sabre fans were just ready to run out of town. Well, he's having a career season and arguably has been their best defenseman. So, yeah, just to your point, Case, everybody has to be contributing for this team to be successful, and that's what we've seen.
He had a goal and 2 assists against Boston in a 4-1 game. He's
there you go.
Definitely showing up on the score sheet, which is not something we expected from him.
Yeah, he's what, like half a point a game? I think I was looking at the other day. Like he's
got 7 goals now, 22 points.
Yeah,
I believe on the year.
That's respectable.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. Okay, boys. Anyone we haven't touched on? Montreal, I guess. Quickly, like I mean, that's a team. Kind of making it work. Like had some goaltending issues, but making it work.
I sit there and just wonder what this team would be with good goaltending.
Yeah.
Yes. It's a good
Honestly.
point.
They're getting it done. And I mean, a lot of it's getting it done in overtime. This team seems like they're always going to overtime, but the goaltending has not been good. And yet they're third in the division. And you look at it's the young guys are showing up in a big way for this team, which is so good to see if you're a Montreal fan.
Yeah.
Slavkovsky has 14 points in the last 10 games. Hudson has 12. Demidov has 10. And then Kapanen is, so that's 1, 2, 3 on the team in the last 10 games. And then fifth is Kapanen with 9 points. So it's all the young guys showing up. Dobson's been phenomenal, have him in fantasy. Finally, that's been a good pickup. And
nice.
Yeah, I had to throw that in there. But the young guys are showing up in a big way. They're scoring lots of goals, and they're just outscoring their opponents. That's really how they're getting it done because the goaltending has not been there. And if that shows up, then, man, they're going to be right in there in this bloodbath.
Yeah, I'm speaking of the goaltending here, too. We know Sam Montembeault went down to the minors for a bit. I read the other day that Carey Price reached out to him and said, listen, you just got to keep it positive, keep the body language positive, and you'll get through it. And, he's back now. He's working his way through it. Like, he's a good goalie. He was on the Four Nations team for a reason. He's a good goalie. Just wanted to bring that up, though, because it's cool that Price is still, like, so connected with Montreal. Like, obviously, we saw him at the Four Nations last year, like, on the Zamboni, waving to fans, signing stuff, whatever. And then he shows up for his annual physical in San Jose. You guys see those photos at the start of the year, like walking in San Jose, like because he's a part of the team. But it's cool that he's still connected with Montreal in that way.
Oh, absolutely. And does it not seem like a given that when they get into overtime that they're going to win the hockey game, whether it's Caulfield or I think Caulfield now is the most overtime winners in franchise history.
It's so skewed,
Hudson,
though. It's skewed because obviously way more overtime. There wasn't 3-on-3 back in the day. Like I know Matthews and Nylander, I think, are top 1 and 2 on the Maple Leafs all-time overtime goals. So it's like, it's skewed. But like when Caulfield came into the league, we were knocking him for that because he only scored in overtime for like he could only score 3-on-3. There's so much ice
time for that little water bug to zip around.
Yeah, and rip it. Time and space for a goal scorer. Wow, you did not want to give that guy time and space.
No. I wanted to touch on Boston really quickly. Obviously, they're not shown in that graphic that we looked at a few minutes ago, but they're right in the mix. I didn't expect them to be as good as they have been. They've obviously had their peaks and valleys, but man, oh man, like they're a hardworking team. And Jonathan Aspero just got a 2-year extension. Like that guy came out of nowhere. Older guy, put his time in the American Hockey League, just worked his way onto this team. And I think he was playing with Charlie McAvoy the other night on that top pair. So, and then you look at like Jeannot and Asimont, and like we were ripping a lot of these bottom six moves that they made, but those guys have fit right in. And Marco Sturm has them playing just that really hard-nosed, blue-collar game that we're used to seeing with the Boston Bruins. So good on them. And good on Don Sweeney for making some good moves, pushing the right buttons. Again, going back to the deadline last year, they sold, which was the right thing to do. Here they are. They got a couple of high picks, James Hagens and others, and the future looks good there. So again, we'll see what happens with them, but had to mention them as well.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, trivia time. Name the player who shot 28% in the year 2025 and is currently shooting 0% in 2026, who plays for the Boston Bruins.
Morgan Geekie.
It's Morgan Geekie. He hasn't scored since December 20th. I just had to bring that up because what a tear that guy was on at the start of the year. Goal a game for 25 games or something.
Yeah.
But he's cooled off now.
And like, but how many would he have had in that 10-2 game if he didn't have to leave to attend to a family matter? I would assume, birth of a child, something like that. Yeah.
But it's
anyway.
like his wife was in labor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, a lot. He's playing 20 minutes a night every night. And but I mean, that being said, he hasn't scored since December 20th, but
right.
It's so still shooting 0% in 2026, but shot 28% in 2025. Thought that was crazy.
And we said that shooting percentage would come down, but we didn't know that. Holy.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Any other team, anything else we want to touch on here in the Atlantic, fellas, before we wrap up or get to the last part of our episode, I should say?
Oh, that's right. Yeah. No, that's it for me.
Cool. Okay. Well, hey, the Atlantic Division, entertaining to say the least. We'll see how things play out here down the stretch. Guys, I can't believe that we're close to 50 games in already. We've got the Olympic break coming up, a ton of hockey this month. Just unbelievable. Time is just flying like crazy, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
Okay, tee it up, Harp. What's coming up next?
Yeah. We've got a little interview coming up to finish off the episode here. It's with Ethan Wooler, a local hockey player from Brockville who got a really cool opportunity. He got to cast in the new season of Shorsey on Crave, the hockey show in Canada, filmed out of Sudbury that we all know and love. So here's a conversation with him about that experience here on the Boys in Booth podcast. Enjoy. Hockey player first, actor second. Brockville's Ethan Wooler joins us at this time. Ethan, Happy New Year. Good to chat with you, pal. How are you today?
Happy New Year to you as well, and I'm doing fantastic.
That's great. Great to be on with you. And Ethan, congratulations are in order. You are a cast member in the new season of Shorsey, season 5. I absolutely love this show. I'm sure you do as well. So many other Canadian hockey fans do as well. How did this come together, and tell us about your role?
Yeah, so it all came together from an Instagram post. It was a friend of a friend, and it was on his Instagram story, and he had posted and said that Shorsey, the show, needed people for Team Europe who had to be over 6'5" and have some junior hockey experience. So luckily, I was able to fit that criteria and travel up to Sudbury. I was a background character for the Team Europe. I did not have any speaking roles, but all in all, it was a very cool experience to be able to be around the cast and see how the show was filmed. It was a very cool environment.
Yeah, that is awesome, man. And this all took place around March, around that time. Is that correct?
Yeah, it took place in March 2025. I was up there for approximately a week. I did 4 different days of filming. And yeah.
That is super cool. And tell us about this European All-Star team, and the rivalry that you guys are a part of in this new season of Shorsey.
Yeah, so in previous seasons, as you many have seen probably, Shorzy has been on the team with the Sudbury Blueberry Bulldogs, but he is now coaching a North American All-Star team. And the plot twist is kind of this European comes in as a big and nasty team who is undefeated. And the North American All-Star team tries to take on the European team and overcome them.
That's really cool. And I got to ask you about working with Jared Kiso. I mean, he's obviously the face of this, the brains behind the operation. Just an incredible guy, I'm sure. What's it been like working with him?
Yeah, absolutely incredible. When I showed up on my first day, I didn't really think I was going to be able to, spend time around him and the other main characters in the show. But yeah, no, amazing guy, especially being the director of the show. Like, I couldn't imagine how busy he is, but a very nice guy. I couldn't say any more nice things about him.
Obviously, the hockey part of this, and being an absolute giant like yourself is fits the criteria for this. But there's also the acting part. Have you thought about a future in acting kind of beyond this, or do you think this is maybe just a one-time deal?
Yeah, like I told family members and stuff, like, I'm definitely still a hockey player through and through. But after experiencing this, and like many others I had chatted with on set there, they started out like I did, right, being a background guy. And it would be interesting. I think I'm still thinking about that to see if I get any other opportunities anywhere else. But as of right now, I'm still just plugging away at hockey, and yeah.
That's great. And Ethan, are you playing on any teams right now? Any competitive teams?
Yeah, so I'm playing my last year of junior hockey in Prescott for the junior C team, the South Carolina Rangers.
Nice. Yes, that's what I thought. That's great. And where can people find the show, Shorsey?
Yeah, so it is streamed on Crave. That is the only streaming platform it is streamed on, unfortunately. But yeah, if you have Crave, it's a very unhinged and funny show to watch.
Well, hey, man, like I said, love the show, and I will definitely be checking out Season 5. Looking forward to seeing you in the new season of Shorsey on Crave. Ethan, thanks so much for taking the time to chat with us today, brother.
Yeah, well, thank you very much.